I need a bottle of scotch and all the love I got.
Good morning. We're back in Sydney. Have a new helmet. Thoughts? Quite nice. I realised I haven't really spoken about probably the two most interesting things, new bike and the kids. We'll change that today. Big bit on the bike, talk about it. Big hills, crit races on it now. Pretty good idea. Morning. As for the kids, should have them tomorrow. So the teen kits, looking forward to talking everyone through that. Gonna meet some lads, do a nice little east loop. Excuse for a coffee and a chat, to be brutally honest. So this is the Safira. Quite like it. Hot day today, so see how it performs with a bit of Sydney humidity. To the east we go. I'm that guy this morning. Morning, mate. Riding in a zone. So there, 100 metres up in front, every hill. Then catch them on the flat. It's got to be annoying for them.
To catch you in my hook, I need a bowl of soup just to make a stew. I need a turtle's egg to make a bag. Then I got.
How good is this time of year in Sydney? I love it. 20 to 9. No one here. It's kind of coffee morning really, isn't it? And then I promise we're going to sit down. We'll do a real run through on the Ridley. Bike review. Before I start, 3 things. Number 1, we paid for this bike, full stop. So if it's rubbish, I'll let you know. I'd love to sit here and tell you that, I'm an incredible pro or have some amazing social media following and bike brands are sending us millions of bikes for free. It's not the case. Number 2, I'm reviewing this build. Oh, my legs are hurting. Let's try that. Is that better? And 3, while I'm reviewing the build as a whole, I do want to speak individually about the components that we chose. All right, let's get started. So, the build is the Ridley Noah SL frame set, the SRAM Red Etap wireless group set. We're running a SRAM D0 power meter, 3953 chainring, a Zipp stem, Forza bars. The saddle is the Astute Skyline VT, and the wheels are Fulcrum Racing 5s. Stickers are courtesy of Catherine Lee Miller. Without doubt, the most striking feature on the frame itself are these aero forks. This bike handles really, really well in crosswinds. Specifically, the crit race that I did, it was a windy day, deep dish race wheels on it. I did not notice anything else. In fact, to be brutally honest, the bike was perfectly stable. Fast descents, whether there was any twitchiness up there, I have not noticed that. My descending while I was down in Bury was borderline the best that's ever been. I wouldn't put that down to forks. Handling wise, no effect whatsoever. So if these things are actually making me go faster, it's not doing it at the disadvantage of any handling. The other thing you'll notice at the front end is this head tube. It's a big head tube. So in terms of a fit perspective, you want to be careful about the size of bike you're getting. I've gone for an extra small. I would never normally go for an extra small, but because of the size of that head tube, I have. And I've subsequently gone aftermarket and gone a negative stem on there to get myself lower. As far as the ride quality goes, I did find on the first day in the hills down around Bury, look, the road surface is borderline deplorable. It's terrible. I did notice the first day I was being bounced around a lot. I had close to 90, 100 PSI in the 25mm tyres. It was too much. I dropped it on the second day, 80, 75 type thing. Perfect. That was the sweet spot. So whilst it is a stiff bike, don't be under any illusion that this is not a stiff bike. It is a racing bike. You can definitely find with your tyre choice and tyre pressure that it plays a big part in the ride comfort. So whilst it is an aero bike, it is still accessible. So from that I mean we've got brakes that are easy to adjust, we've got a seat post which is easy to take in, take out, but you don't have to be best friends with your mechanic because everything is so integrated. Let's talk about this group set. This group set. I've never used SRAM before. Campy was campy for about the last 5 years. Thumb is just sort of thinking it's got nothing to do anymore. First thoughts. After I got over the complete shock horror of not using my thumb to shift, I have to say it has been perfect. I've not missed a shift. Hoods, look, I'll be brutally honest, they're not as tactile as Campy EPS, but having said that, they are really comfortable, no issues with them whatsoever. I've never ridden Shimano Di2. I did notice performance-wise, in a pure performance perspective, EPS was probably slightly quicker. Having said that, the functionality I have and the cleanliness of the wireless makes up for it in my opinion. Wireless makes sense to me. A Wi-Fi signal from here to there, that makes perfect sense to me in comparison to a cable from here to here. Maybe that's sad, but that's just me. I think with the Groupset side of things, you're going to get a better opinion in a month, 2 months, 3 months. Just see how it wears in. So from getting your brain around this to it performing straight out of the box, absolutely no issues, love it. Which brings us on to the wheels. It is strange, in my opinion, to have such a high-spec bike, fantastic frame, superb group set, with what are budget wheels. Look, there's nothing wrong with Fulcrum Racing 5s. They're a great training wheel. They're a great day-to-day wheel. They just don't fit this build. Ride-wise, they're probably taking away that little spark that you need, and aesthetically, the reality is this bike needs a set of dark, deep section wheels. Okay, so I reckon that probably gets us through the first couple of questions. Feel free to pop any below. I will mention the paint job. The paint job obviously is superb. The closer you get, the better it actually becomes. You can see there's almost a speckle in it. That's the Ridley Noah SL with SRAM Etap, Fulcrum Racing 5, and some really nice components. Watch this space. I'm spending the afternoon with a person who sits in that chair and a person who sits in that chair, so I'll leave you to it. Kits arrive tomorrow, so we're going to do a full run through. Hopefully going to ride, we'll get some footage of that. Hope you enjoyed the review.